Welcome everybody. My name is Levi Starrett and today I will be presenting the Waveform Editor user interface. Let's jump right in. First off, I have a Python server running on my local machine, so I'm going to connect to it here to see the Waveform Editor. Alright, this is what it looks like. Just some aesthetic features I'd like to point out. Right here we've got the waveform. Obviously I have a typical CV already graphed, and you can see the values down here on this table. As you can see, the values are put to 3 decimal places, and if I put it at something else besides 3 decimal places, say 10, it will automatically revert to 3 decimal places. Alright, another feature that I've added as well for aesthetic purposes is the full screen. This button here, if you click on that, you can see the graph a little bit bigger, and kind of going along with that, there's functionality to zoom in, like so. Next, I'll just like to demonstrate some function. Over here we have add segment, and what that button does is it just adds a segment at the end of the graph, and as you can see, it just kind of makes a sawtooth shape as you add them by default. But you can also change them, which I will show in just a few minutes. Next feature I'd like to present is delete segment, which just deletes the last segment off the end of the graph. But I have a vision to be able to check these boxes and delete multiple. Alright, let's do a little bit of updating. So say I add a segment and I want it to do something else. Say I want it to be at 800 millivolts and end at 800 millivolts with a sweep rate of 0 millivolts per second for 10 seconds. There we go, I just was able to update it. You can update a segment by hitting the enter key in any of the inputs on the row, or you can hit the update button. So let's say I want this end value to be 200 instead of 100. I can hit enter like that, or I can hit update and it does the same thing. Another feature we have here, you might have already seen me do it. If I want this to be negative 500 with a sweep rate of negative 30, if I have nothing in the box and hit enter, it automatically fills in the proper duration for it to fit. That's an excellent feature, especially if you're using lots of decimal places, so you don't have to calculate it out all yourself. So let's do a little more with that. Let's add another segment here and do something crazy. So negative 234.96548, like that. Automatically puts it to 3 decimal places. I'm going to put this to say 0 with a sweep rate of 13.7. And let's see what the duration comes up with. There we go. Just another quick feature I'd like to show off. These 3 values here, the start value, end value, sweep rate, must be real numbers, and the duration must be a positive real. So I've added some validation, so if I don't put in a real number, say I put Levi in there, it screams at me and says enter a valid real. So let's enter a valid real. And one thing you've seen here, this thing keeps popping up, is if I try to update it and these values don't fit the model that defines a segment, it tells me that field values must agree. And I'll just show you here, if I try to put in a negative duration, it says enter a positive real. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. There we go. One final thing to address, the repeats here. has no functionality as of this version, but this will be used for repeating a segment several times instead of adding it over and over again. And going along with that is this bind key. I have a vision to be able to click three different or however many different ones and bind them together, and then I can repeat all of them at once, like repeat a pattern. And then these keys also, I will want to be able to move rows up and down. But as I said before, that functionality is not quite there yet in this week. Looks like I have a little validation issue here. Okay, a little bit of words about the server. This is running on my local machine. Over here, as you can see, this is a Python server. The good thing about that is it's going to be cross-platform compatibility. Python runs on just about anything, and also, as you can see, it's in a browser. I'm running Google Chrome here, so with the browser and the Python, it'll run basically on anything. There's still a lot more browser compatibility testing to be done, but that is coming along. So I think that about wraps it up. So thank you for tuning in with me today, and have a nice day.